Aloha, Flow Riders, and welcome to this edition of The Flow. I am your host, Doc Rock, along with my awesome co-host.
Hey, everyone, it's Katie.
That's my favorite part of the show. We are still kicking
just
it.
For you.
Today is episode 115 of this test that we're doing.
Yeah, we're on one.
To see if the fam wants to know about podcasting.
Yep.
It's kind of hilarious. All right, what are we working with today, Kates?
This is a really fun one. So I used ChatGPT to generate a whole bunch of episode ideas, as we keep recommending to all of you to do if you're looking for ideas. And Chat said to me, you know what would be really cool, Katie and Doc, if you just did a Fix My Flow episode where someone from the Flow, like a guest, a fan of the Flow, a Flow rider, came on and we answered their questions live and we talked through how to set up their show, and we were just there to help them for the entire time. So we've somehow tricked Bruce into joining us, and Bruce is going to be a guinea pig for this episode. So everyone be really, really nice to Bruce. Put on your hi, Bruce, welcome hats. And if you have any questions and you are, experiencing anything that's similar to Bruce, feel free to drop those into the comments because we can help out. And if this show works well, as ChatGPT tells me it will, then we can do this going forward as like a regular, not really a segment, I guess a regular episode idea. So hopefully it all works out smoothly. Fingers
really
crossed,
like
everyone.
it.
Thanks to
I got to tell you how hard it was for me not to sing Feel Me Flow by Naughty by Nature.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw this lady, she said, hey, y'all, she drops in the car. She got a question. Chad, tell me, what is that thing where, like, you got this one friend, and whenever you say a certain word, they start singing a part of a song, and then she gives an example. I swear to you, no less than 50 people tagged me.
My friend is Doc.
And wrote musical Tourette's in the thing. And I was like, This lady's going to be like, who is this guy? Because she doesn't know me, but I got tagged in that video so many times. I'm like, sorry, it's just, I got medicine for it now. It'll stop, I think. I hope. All right, let's bring on Bruce Luis and say what's happening, Bruce.
Welcome.
Parlez-vous français?
A little bit. I panic every time someone says that because I'm really good at reading in French, and I can watch French programs and I can listen to French podcasts. But when someone says, say something in French, Katie, I just panic goes.
Très bien.
Goes over. Yeah. You're doing great though. I'm just going to listen and not respond.
Comment allez-vous? I know that too.
Wait, how come you know French, Bruce? Explain.
Yeah.
Well, I took 2 years in high school, and some of that a little bit. I also like facile bovine. I know what that means too.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means, Katie?
All I'm thinking of is easy cow, but it's not easy cow.
That's it. That's exactly. We learned that when we were in.
Oh,
French
interesting. Bovine, because I would have used vache, which is another word for cow. But yeah, that's fun.
Yes.
I love it.
Well, see, I knew the bovine part because of cooking stuff. Right, you got porcine and bovine, right? The coq du vin, things like that. Actually, one of my favorite things to make in an Instant Pot. But yeah, let's not talk about food. Louise said, "Stop it."
Listen, though, you got to start doing a cooking show, Doc.
I know. We do this
I always
noon
think
my
I
time,
should,
but I'm starving.
but my kitchen is too small. I don't have space.
Okay.
I'll be banging into everything.
That sounds like an excuse.
No, it's not. They're really not.
Exactly. Good job, Katie. Exactly. Another one of those excuses that we all like to put out there, right?
No, I could do one outside though. If I had a grill in the backyard, my grilling show would be on. I've done some grilling videos on my YouTube channel back in the day. But me and my buddy used to do called Geeks Grilling, and then we would just grill food and talk about tech stuff while we're making steaks and telling people how to make a good grilled steak. That'd be fun to bring back. All right.
Oh yeah, I would watch.
Yeah, right.
Bruce is it, and you've got to do it.
Nothing goes better than some steak and some tech news, right? I think it's a cool setup.
Exactly.
Especially when you're on MWB with Leo. He's always talking about food.
Yeah, that's how me and Leo became friends, because all we talk about is food. I got him into the Japanese rice pots and Japanese rice stuff, and he never stops talking about it now. It's super fun.
Golly, the last pot, when they were talking about that pot thing where they put that little electrical element down into it and it swirls it, keeps it at the same temperature, and they cook their food.
I mean, that's the French word, dude. Come on. It's the sous vide.
I know. No.
We've taken it full circle.
This is cool. So talking to us about your show and how do you need the flow fixing? That's another good one. Write that down, Paul.
That's the official kickoff right there.
There you go. My name is Bruce Horstman, and I've been in tech and been following you, Doc, and Mac Break Weekly for over 20 some years, and love when you're always on there. But I finally got this urge, this exciting drive a couple of years ago, and my friend and I kept talking about this idea that he's the brain part of it as far as working on people's brains. And so what we're trying to do is get people past the less than mentality.
Yes.
That it hurts all of us.
Yes.
And to be able to get past that idea that you can do this, you're empowered to do this, you have everything you need. And in what we're working with is students, athletes, parents, and coaches to help, because that's the big problem with social media today, is the compromise that social media creates in the comparison mentality. And, I'm comparing myself to Doc and Katie. I'm saying, hey, look how great they are and look how terrible I am. And so that mindset we're trying to get past and help people to understand that they can live an incredible life. And some of it's faith-based as well, too. But a lot of it's just about helping people become the better versions of themselves that they're supposed to be.
I love it.
And so what I'm struggling with is the confidence part of put the episode out there.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's it. That's it in a nutshell.
Yeah, Doc's really good at this one because he forced me to do it. So
this is legit my favorite subject.
Doc. You listen, I've got thick skin and I'm a big fellow, so you can beat me up.
The first thing you have to remember, and this is so hard because I think, number one, I don't think it's really taught. Number two, I think in the language that we speak to each other, and this doesn't matter whether I'm saying it in English, Japanese, or Korean, like it all comes out the same way. There's this concept of confidence is something you have to build up, or you have to go and get it, or you have to go and, there's some store, a course you can take or whatever. I don't believe that.
It's a commodity.
I think confidence is a switch. Yep. Confidence is the same thing as wet and dry. It's either one or the other. Yeah. There's no such thing as both, right? It's a binary situation. And so when you are confident about something, you trust in yourself. Now, the levels of confidence is different, but at the surface, it's wet and dry, or black and white, light and dark, whatever, grayscale, right? And so the point of having confidence is turn on the switch. And once you turn on the switch, it's just on. The electricity is flowing. You can do that thing, right? A lack of confidence basically means I don't know enough about what I'm doing in order to go ahead and do it. And when you run into those situations, you remind yourself of all of the many situations where you didn't know, but you started anyway because it was the thing to do. And then you got better, and then you got better, and then you got better. And my three favorite analogies all similarly coincide with each other: walking, talking, and wiping your own backside. Because you didn't know how to do none of them. And all you did was mirror the folks around you until you were able to do this. And it's not that somebody really taught you how to do any of the above. You just mirrored what was around you, right? Your parents don't teach you how to walk. You walk. Now, your dad will hold you up, or your mom will hold you up and put you on the feet and do the little, thing that we all did, But in the beginning, you just did it, right? So even the idea of making this sound, and my niece used to do it when I was sleeping. When she learned how to crawl, she would crawl over to me and she'd come to my ear and just go, ah, really loud. I was like, well, just wake me up. But that was the beginning of her learning how to vocalize what we vocalize.
Sure.
And having a loud uncle, her idea of modeling the words that come out of the other three quiet ones was, this dude makes a lot of noise. I'm going to follow him because, she's my best friend, right? So instead of modeling, the shyness and the other stuff that, the grandma and mom and my other have, she modeled me. And she started out loud. And you would swear to God she's a little Puerto Rican kid because she's loud. She's just like Luis, right? But that, again, it just comes from modeling. So, yeah, you don't have to worry about that, because the feeling that you don't have it will crush you every time, no matter what it is. It will absolutely take your life away.
Well, in this, most creators, I didn't mean to cut you off, Katie. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, most creators that I've encountered, that I've talked to, on chats and different things, they're always caught up in this idea of thinking they need more gear or they need more lights or more whatever. And really and truly, it's just that they need more clarity. And you just gave me a lot of clarity right there, Doc. I mean it. And once that message is sharp, it navigates itself, and then the tech becomes just an amplifier, not a crutch.
Yeah.
And so that's it. The clarity part of it is just do it. I've listened to Katie too. She said for a month or so now, just put it out there, get the stuff out there, and then we can tweak it, as you go.
And, it's funny. Risk giving leadership. Go ahead, Kate.
I was just going to say, I'll say a couple things because I definitely have been on a path of this, a journey of this over the last few years. But what resonated with me was initially Doc saying, and this was years back, to just start recording yourself, doing voice notes, video notes, just get in the habit of seeing yourself on camera, saying things that no one else necessarily even needs to see, but just get into the habit of doing it. And I have to say that that got me thinking, but it did not get me doing. What really clicked for me was holding myself accountable to something. So I knew if I said, okay, I'm going to start this podcast, but I'm going to tell everyone about it so that I know that all of my people, friends and family, are going to say, hey, how's that podcast coming along? Hey, how's it going? So that I knew that I would set myself a date to do it. And I hadn't even set a complete date at that point. I was just I want to do this. Here's what I've been thinking about. I just started talking about it more publicly on social media with friends and family, just started talking about it. And then having a co-host also really helped for me. So I know, Bruce, you were saying that you had a co-host because then there was someone else that I was also accountable to, right? It wasn't just mine. Someone else was going to be there. So I knew I needed to show up, even if I didn't feel great, even if I didn't, it gave me some level of accountability. So those things helped me at least push myself to get started. And then for me, the format helped a lot because, again, I was doing it really publicly. So there was no, because I was live streaming my episodes, which doesn't work for everyone, but it worked for me in that it was very public, and people started showing up, friends and family initially. I mean, no one for the first episode, literally no one. and then friends and family started showing up for the second and third and whatever episodes. And now I feel if I don't show up, I need to let people know why I'm not going to show up that week. There's a level of accountability built into that. But what was really cool in the process, and I will find the link to send to you later, is one of our friends, Kat Mulvihill. Huge shout out to Kat. She's incredible.
Love her.
She's recently created this formula that she calls Momentum. She now has a YouTube channel she's building around it. But what I think really clicked for me in that experience, in that process, was that her formula basically says that everyone has a different mindset and a different way that they approach these kinds of things and think about things and build confidence and all of this, right? Your mind functions differently than my mind. Doc's functions differently than both of us. And so for me, right, Doc's doesn't function at all. But for me, going through that training actually got me realizing that when it comes to video creation, I actually, when I over plan it, when I have a full script, when I've looked at everyone else's videos, when I've thought it out to death and I've written it all out to death, when it comes to actually recording, that's crippling for me, and I just turn everything off because I've now I've compared everyone and I've panicked and I can't get through that block. And so what helped me with that training was thinking through, actually, I'm much more of a presenter mindset. And this is what Ecamm calls it, not what Kat calls it, but I like knowing what the topic is I'm going to talk about, and then having no notes at all or very, very few notes because I know that content intimately. I've done the research for it, or I understand that concept. And then I know I can wing it to some level and talk about it. And it's going to be more conversational, and I'm happy with the outcome on the other side. So I can now set myself up for success in that format, knowing that I will record the video or I will do the live stream. If I know what the topic is, and if I've spent the time to really make sure that I understand it, the confidence will come. Maybe it's okay. The video is not the exact way I wanted it, but I'm really happy generally with how the outcome is there. And so that thinking about it from the mindset really helps, because I think sometimes just start is hard for people. And I think just start live is hard for people. And I think how we say sometimes to approach these things doesn't work for everyone's mind. So that worked a ton for my mindset. And that training was really helpful in kind of taking what I knew to be true from what Doc was saying, what I knew to be true from what I was experiencing, and that I really wanted to do it. But there was definitely a blocker there. So that's my rant on that and where I live these days in that space.
No, that's good. That's really good. And I appreciate that, because I've been watching a lot over the last month, you and Doc, with all the just do it, get up there, put it out there, get, unscripted or as little as scripting as possible. And then that was why I sent that video to you that I did.
Yeah.
And, and since then, even it's really hit home, because, like Doc and I, we've been creating content since way before YouTube or any of these other things ever existed. It was back when streaming platforms were 8-track tapes or cassette tapes. That's when we were doing it back then. We were doing cart machines to do our, using cart machines and a little razor and tape to put together our ads. And so it was easy to sit behind this when there was nothing here. Mm-hmm. But now, I mean, I've stood in front of hundreds and hundreds of people before, teaching and preaching and doing, because I'm also a pastor. And so that part is easy. Like right now, I'm like anxiety is just like pounding in my chest, because I know there's people watching. I'm looking at 2 mentors here in front of me. And so that's the part, is just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Paul.
And so we have a start date. We do have a start date, and we're looking September 10th is our start date.
Oh, there you go. So good. Everyone watching, now we can all hold Bruce accountable to that.
Yes.
September 10th. That's a great start date. But
Yes,
it's so funny, Bruce, because you have this like amazing, you've actually checked all of the boxes that most people don't have, right? Like your space looks good. You have like all of the correct gear. You know how to use it. You have a production background, which is leagues above 90% of people that get started in this. And you have a presentation background because of all of the work that you've done as a pastor. Like you're used to getting up in front of people. So it really like hilariously is a mindset shift in this, because it's it's instead of people sitting in front of you, it's people watching from a viewpoint,
we can
right?
cover your
that,
perfection thing in one fell swoop right here, okay?
Go right ahead.
I was going to say this because Rolf, actually, I realized that risk-given leadership now is Rolf, because he told us, and I've seen the book cover before, because it's purple.
Yes.
So if it's purple, I've seen it, Rolf. First of all, you're starting your podcast 2 days too early, but I'll take the birthday present anyway. And then,
we can push it to the 12th.
No, don't push anything.
No, don't push
You're not allowed.
Okay.
So, sorry, fake leader people, I'm going to be mean to you right now for 1 second. You are not allowed to be like, I don't have the confidence for this, because you stand in front of people every week telling them to have faith, and then you don't have faith in yourself. Then, hold up, I'm not done yet. You got to take this whole whooping. The other one that crushes me is, according to your own teaching, there's only one perfect entity in the planet. And he don't make mistakes, according to your book.
It's not you.
So you can't be a mistake. You can't be broken. You can't be wrong. You can't have any of those things wrong with you, because he made you to fulfill this purpose that he made you here for. So you're not allowed to have the excuses that us secular folks have, because you have told us to read the book and have faith, and that there's only one perfect situation, and you want to live in the best image to support your higher power. So I'm sorry, your excuses land really crooked on the secular ear. And
it's null and void.
It's absolutely. You're writing blank checks. So I just want everybody, and I don't care what you do. You do that, but you're not allowed to have those excuses at the same time you tell us that we're supposed to have faith in XYZ. You have to have faith in yourself, because no mistakes were made. Right. And you have this, and the reason why you feel this anxiety and the reason why you feel this pain is because you care.
It's because you care. Yeah.
It's the people that don't care that would just put out rubbish and whatever. And so that desire that keeps bringing you back, that is the call or the drive or the motivation. I don't care how you label it. Like, you could label water 87 different things. It's still wet and delicious. Well, unless you live in Flint, Michigan.
Yeah, that's them right here.
Right?
There we go.
So because you got the water, like, think of it as that. Like, your ability to do this, right? This is mission critical for you, right? When I woke up in the morning and I donned my hat, tied up my boots, right? We went to formation and they gave us our marching orders. We knew exactly what we were doing that day. And in a way, that drive, that feel, that fire, even to put yourself on the chopping block knowing what an a-hole I am means you care.
You've already done the hardest thing, yeah.
Right? That totally means you care. You're like, I am going to defenestrate myself because I know that I have to do this. And because of what you're talking about is kind of what I talk about, I know for a fact you need to do this. People are waiting to hear from you because they'll listen to you different than me simply for the fact you're pious. Some people won't listen to me because that dude's a heathen. I can't listen to him. So then you got to cover my slack.
You're not a heathen. You just like to tell everybody you are.
Of course I like to say that. But, it's
good media.
You have to do it for the people that won't listen to me. So if anything, you could be like, I can catch strays that aren't going to hear Doc because he's so abrasive. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I need to work on being an adult catcher too.
Yeah. that too. So yeah, like, this is awesome. Like, this is really, really awesome. And I am so glad that you put yourself in there. But I do have one crazy question for you.
Yes, sir.
Being a Notre Dame kid, are there 3 more of you? Get it? Bruce Horstman? I'm sorry.
No, it's awesome.
I had to do it.
You're a Notre Dame fan?
All day. Golden Dome.
There you go.
Up, down,
go
left,
Irish.
Sideways. Yeah, that's the one part of my Catholicism that didn't get shaken.
There you go. Hail to the victor valiant. Hail to the conquering hero, right?
Absolutely.
Well,
absolutely.
I want to talk a little bit about show structure, because I do think that a run of show and show structure is a really great way to help get a little bit more confident about doing this thing. And obviously tools like Ecamm do make it a little bit easier to be able to do that, right? So in the same way that you spent the time, building out what gear is in your space and hopefully understanding how to use all of it, I assume so, since you're here using it correctly.
The lights aren't too bright, right?
The lights aren't too bright.
Perfect.
Everything looks
nice
good,
color too.
right?
Thank you.
Everything looks good.
Hey, listen, Doc, this is an ode to you right here. See it?
Yes, I see
He's Doc
it.
Rock Purple
I love
today.
It. I love it.
There you go.
But
Go
I
right
would
ahead.
say,
I'm sorry,
like,
Katie.
if you haven't already, and I assume you probably have, because I think you've got a few. You said you have a few episodes already in the bag and ready to release on your September 10th date. But I would say creating like a simple, maybe 3 or 4 scene structure that you can fall back on that's repeatable, because getting in the habit of doing that and kind of building up that muscle memory by doing that week after week or month after month or whatever your frequency is for your show is going to help you feel more confident as well. Because if you don't have your bullet points that day, or you don't know what you're going to talk about, or things go like horribly awry and your co-host goes off on some crazy tangent, right? Like, having those simple scenes where you're like, okay, well, at its foundation, my show needs to have an intro, the main points, and an outro. Like, visually seeing that in Ecamm is going to help you be like, okay, I know now, like, we plan to be here for 30 minutes. I need to start wrapping up. I need to get over to the outro scene. Like, those visual cues and reminders are going to help you feel more confident and keep you a little bit on track, even if they're very simple. And I would stress, probably simple to start off with, if not keep them simple all the way through, would be a great way to go. They don't have to be huge, tons of graphics or anything like flying across. But I think having even just those 3 would really go a long way in helping you feel more comfortable doing it on a regular basis.
And that's the thing. You guys have hit both pieces. I mean, all of the points have been pushed, all the buttons, I guess, whatever you want to say. Because I've been a graphic designer. I mean, I created that right.
Yeah, you've got the background. You have
I've been creating graphics and designing, and so I can do the slide deck. I can do the thumbnails, the promos, all the different things. It's just and that's the great thing about our podcast. It's very like yours is very conversational.
Yep.
And we want it to be that. There's little to no script. I have 8 questions that we're going to go over, but everything is us in our banter and his knowledge that he's bringing, because he studied the mind, he understands the mind. And it's crazy. I'm sitting here that you all keep giving this back to me. It's all the stuff that we're teaching beyond limits, pushing ourselves in our mindset, getting beyond the less than mentality. And you all are like, it's a great mirror today, I have to say. I hope you continue to do this.
You're in the best position though too for it, Bruce, because and this again, like this helped with me a lot. Like it's not about you, and you have a co-host who has all of the knowledge in this space. So you literally are just the facilitator. So if you continue to tell yourself every time, my face needs to be on camera so that it's a better conversation, but it's not about me at all. Literally all I have to do is listen and take those pieces that he's saying and be curious and ask more questions. That's your only goal for the lock yourself into whatever your time frame is. And your only goal is ask interesting questions, facilitate questions that you see come, if you're live streaming it, facilitate questions that you've received or that you see coming through. Sure. And then he does the rest. Like he does all the heavy lifting, even more than Sunday service, right? Like it's the Ted
Lasso thing.
Yeah.
It's the Ted Lasso, be curious.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one of my favorite things in the world is to be curious. You know what, Bruce? You get to be Mary. You get to be the vessel.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the thing is, and after the thing I sent you, the short little clip that I'd sent you. Well, it was actually 9 minutes. Sorry, it wasn't short.
It was great.
But after I'd sent that to you, we went to go put one out, put an episode out, and the lighting was, I don't usually cuss, but it looked terrible. He looked like, it looked like he was doing scary ghost stories along behind the, in the campfire light. And I lost my mind. I thought, I can't do this. I'm screwed it up. I'm a mess. But then I watched your next episode and it was be conversational.
Yep.
Don't use a script. That was the very next thing. This was about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And so that's why I put that out to you then, Katie, was I thought, I'm doing this. I got to get this out here. And I want somebody to just be honest and critique it and just beat me up.
What was amazing, Bruce, was you did it quickly, though. Like, we hung up the flow. I went upstairs and I made coffee. And then Paul and Katie go into the Slack. And they're like, hey, Bruce already signed up to be the first sheep. And I was like, wait, what?
Yep.
And I was like, yo, we just finished the episode. Like, so it was probably the 9 minutes after we hung up, you made that video and then sent the email. And Katie's fast with email. And like, legit, I swear it was legit barely after I was getting ready to do the next show because I do another show after this. And then we got the thing. And I was like, wow, that was fast. So you're legit in the right spot. And me personally, I can't wait to see what you're creating. We have a really good example this week that came up. So, nicest guy on the planet, Ed Carr. He is a piano player. I'm not saying that other word, Ed. I don't like that word.
He plays the piano.
Piano player, and he creates worship songs, worship music, and he's like a composer, but he also is teaching people who play in house worship, how to use the music to help carry the story, things of this nature. And Ed had come to camp with us, so he's been to all the trainings. He did all the things and I was just getting on to people's cases who are still procrastinating. I'm like, at some point, you got to just go. You cannot spend the whole time in a driver's school. Eventually, you got to drive somewhere, right? And I don't know what gave him the fire, but maybe 9 days ago, Ed decided, okay, I'm just going to give in. And so he's been doing it every day, posting it, shaking the cobwebs out. Awesome. And even before you release your episode, just to get used to the flow, that's a funny word. We should use that in the show title. Just to get used to the flow of creating, speaking on camera, not over editing yourself, things like that. It might even be worth doing a little sprint of pre-show talks, introducing the show to the people before the actual show, the way that we had to watch 3 months of Brad Pitt F1 previews on everything on Apple TV. And
so true.
I listen, I can't wait to watch that movie. I'm waiting for this weekend when the holiday comes so that Emma and I can go now that she started school. But I just really want you to do it like that, because that way your reps are already there. So even when you come through, you're not really cold, you're kind of warmed up. And I also want to take a time, just in case he watches this, to give another big shout out to Ed, because it wasn't easy for him. You know what I mean? I know it's not easy. We say the word easy because we need to keep you in that right mindset. But I do understand how much energy it takes to put yourself up there, and we should never take away from it. In that same vein, though, once you do it, you got to celebrate that, right? Yeah. I watch Katie every time we got to go on stage. She's about to drop bricks out of her backside, but once she gets up there, and she got like I was going to say it my normal way because you're here. Once she gets up there and she gets into her flow, and everybody's feeding back, and she's feeding off the energy. Like, it goes away like that. And then Katie's in her element, and she's doing her thing, and everybody just says, oh my God, you guys' presentation was amazing. Trust you me, there are people that play baseball, hockey, football, basketball, whatever. Every time they go out there and sing Canadian anthem, American anthem, whatever, they're doing the same thing with the bricks. But once the game starts, all is good. They're spending 15 minutes in the penalty box because they're having such a good game. You know what I mean? So you have to remind yourself that even the pros get scared. That means you care. Again, that just means you care.
It's what you're saying is just trust the process.
Yes.
Yeah. It also
everything. Go ahead.
There are some things that are always going to be true, and this is like hard even for me to say and to hear as well, because like you, Bruce, I'm an overthinker and a perfectionist, but this is a perfectionist space. But like, I'm almost 100 episodes into my personal podcast, which, like what Doc was saying, was just like could I actually do this? Would people actually care kind of project? And there are episodes that I feel really good about and I really like. And then there are episodes where I'm like, oh, wow, that didn't at all turn out the way that I wanted it to. And I have to like literally fight myself from wanting to like remove them from YouTube, redo them, like go online and be like, so sorry, everyone. Like, I really hated that episode. And I'm glad that I don't, like, I fight that urge, because there are people that will come back and like, that's their favorite episode, or like something about that really resonated. But it like, so it's never like, not only is it never going to be perfect, but there are even like years from now going to be things about your show that you hate. You're going to see, like, as you said at the top of the episode, like you're going to see someone else that's in the same space that is like nailing it in a way that you were like, why am I not nailing it in that way? And they're feeling insecure about, this, that, or the other. So like you're never going to get rid of the butterflies. You're never going to get rid of overthinking it and, and seeing like the poor lighting and being like, I can't possibly release that. Like, those moments are still always going to happen. No matter how many reps you get in, there's always going to be something about it that you don't quite like, that isn't quite perfect, that isn't as good as so-and-so's. But everyone feels that way. Absolutely every single person feels that way. Even like the best of the best in sports and acting and whatever else feel that way. So the only difference is that they are able to push through it and keep going, and many of us are blocked, and it stops us from doing it. So please know that like you are not alone in that feeling, and even people who have been doing it for years and years stare at their stuff and are like, oh wow, I wish I could do it as good as so-and-so. I wish I had, this different thing. I wish that my episode turned out this different way. Like it's a never ending battle.
I would be lying if I said I didn't do that too. Like, I still look at things and I wish that I could do it better, or I, oftentimes wish I had the studio space of so many other people. Like, I'm in an 8x8 box, right? And
I wish I could show you mine. Mine's not much bigger.
Yeah, and Katie's is about the same too. And the daughter took over the other half of the room. So
yeah, mine's like, maybe a 4x4.
When I see this, okay, we did this is crazy insane, but we did a partnership with Kit, the email marketing platform, and then we walked into Kit Studios, the first one in Chicago. And I'm like, why can't my space look like that? Well, because you have to live there too, right? You have to do a bunch of other work. But like, if I could take all of this in here and take it all out and just build it the way Kid Studio is, it would work. And I have another back room, but that back room is storage, because in Hawaii, condos are 1,100 square feet. So I need that extra room. Otherwise, I can't live. Everything in there is part of business or real estate signs, some of my woodworking gear. There's no way I have a space to build a space like what kids built in Hawaii would cost me like $3,000 a month. Right.
Yes.
So
Yep.
I just got to have the little weird, messy closet and do what I can with this. And so trust me, those feelings are not normal. I mean, not normal. They're not normal. Whatever. You know what it is.
They're not
exclusive. They're not
I didn't have
exclusive.
coffee yet. No coffee.
That's all right.
No Addy. We're stuck here.
I get it. I do. I mean, and I understand. I mean, like I said, I can get up in front of folks and I can talk to them about my faith, or I can talk to them about what we're talking about here with Beyond Limits. And when I'm in front of folks, I still get nervous, but I can go out there and I can hit it, and I can, and the muscle memory just kicks in.
Yes.
And one of the things I do at our church too, also every Sunday, is I host on stage, which it's kind of like the Johnny Carson thing where Ed McMahon comes out and says, "Here's Johnny." And, yes. And so what we do is we don't do announcements. I like to call it like we're sneaking up on them and then trying to get them to understand what the important announcement is. So I always try to do it like I'm at the kitchen table, like we're having a conversation. And I've got to take that same mindset and apply that to what we're doing here. And, one of the most important things a mentor told me, it's actually Marty, the gentleman that I'm doing the podcast with. He told me this probably about 6 years ago. He said this, he said, "Get paid for what you know, not what you do."
Mm-hmm.
And, I thought about that for a second. I thought, get paid for what I know, not what I do. And that has changed how I show up to everything now. I mean, whether it's at church or whether it's with my wife's a professional singer here in the Miami Valley near Dayton, Ohio.
Awesome.
She travels and sings. She writes her own songs. And, she gets up on stage and she just, she's getting paid for what she knows now. And I love that about what she's doing. And I'm trying to feed into that for her too and support her. But I've realized that my value isn't just the effort, but it's about the experience and the perspective that I bring.
That right there. Exactly.
Yes.
Listen, you know what?
Driving,
go ahead.
Right? When you're driving, we have our headlights, right? And our headlights can only give us so much. And I know that when I first started driving around where headquarters is, I was mostly in awe with the just lovely old school houses and, areas where people could plant things outside and ride a riding lawnmower, because I can't do that here. I gave that up. And I'm like, oh, I kind of wish I could do that, right? Go to Katie's house and it's gorgeous, right? Like the outside, like I would live outside basically. Well, it get kind of cold over there. I take that back. I can't even eat outside.
You wouldn't live outside for very long.
No, Canadian Thanksgiving, I was dying because I was freezing. Everybody else is like, this is nice weather, Kate. And like, what's wrong with the dude at the end? I'm like, but you only have that 200 feet or so that you can see in front of you based on your headlights.
Yes.
But the more I've gone back and forth, with work and then I got to go pick up something from Katie's house or go get her, or we're just going to go back to the office. Now I can drive and not even think about where I'm going, right? I know the 17 different ways to get to Katie's house, either the Clinton Street way or come around the backside from the farm way, or, come from Essex where I'm already in New Hampshire. I can come from any different angle. And even to our office, there's literally 4 routes you can take in the smallest town in the planet. There's 4 routes you can take to get to the center of Main Street. And the ability to do that without thinking about it now only came from having to drive back and forth from the office to the hotel, to the office to the hotel, to Katie's house, to office to the hotel, to Katie's new house, right? And, going to the Ken's house or Glenn's house or whatever. And now I drive around there. I don't even need the GPS. And when I realized that, it was because after the first camp, I had to shuttle people, right? A lot of the teachers, we stayed in a different town, and I had to shuttle some of the teachers back and forth. And the second time, like, I could just get up and go, right? Just grab everybody, get in the car and get there. But that's the reps. And people don't understand that that's the reps. Right. But we changed that into other words like, oh, well, now you're familiar with the area. No, you're not. It's called reps, bro. You have driven. You can go to the Piggly Wiggly. Wait, you're in Ohio. AM, PM?
Kroger.
There you
Grater's
go.
ice cream. You can go get Grater's ice
Oh, you
cream.
can get Graders.
Oh,
Oh my
Katie.
God. Katie and I took
We
a
have
cab to
one.
go get Graders from Cleveland to like
I made
Highlands
Doc go
just to
way
get
out of the way
Graders.
for Grater's.
Oh,
It's so good.
Skyline chili and Grater's ice cream.
Jesus. Anyway, the fact is that
Oh,
you
sorry,
know how
Luis.
to get to Kroger without thinking about it because of the
Sure.
reps, right? Like I grew up going to Lawson's and the Lawson's was at the end of the block at my grandma's house in Shaker Heights. And Cleveland, if those are unfamiliar. And again, that just comes from, you know where Lawson's is because I had to walk there lots as a kid. You know, I had to walk to Kennedy High School as a kid a lot. So you just know those because of reps.
Oh, Kennedy High School.
Yeah. So all the
Cute.
things that you know because of reps. Do the
Yes.
dang reps, people. Like there's no.
Yes, sir.
I'm get to brag for a second. Today is going to be day 299 of posting a long form video to YouTube every freaking day.
Every day.
And those are reps. And
That's
even
really-
though
Yes.
I came in as a quote unquote professional, I still have learned more and gotten better from doing 300 in a row.
Yes. I got you. And listen, this has been such a fantastic opportunity just to get, you all pouring into me. One of the things I talk about all the time is that I can't sit in front of the fire hydrant and drink. There's just no way, because especially when the cap's off. But what I can do is just like a cup of coffee, I can drip.
Yeah.
I can drip into people. I don't even like to pour into people. I don't even like that phrase. I tell people all the time, I don't pour into, I want to drip, because if I'm dripping, then by the time it gets to the place, like if it's a good cup of coffee, man, that's a great cup of coffee when it takes a long time to brew, because it's seeping through those grounds and it's percolating like the old percolators that probably you and I, Doc, our grandmas had them on the stove. and so this has been amazing to me. And like I said, I'm sitting in front of the fire hydrant right now with the both of you, and I really appreciate it. And I'll go back and I'll watch this 2 or 3 more times just to make sure I caught everything. But I mean, I would love to maybe come back in, maybe a month or two.
Yeah.
And then we can recap, and you guys can go look at what we've done. And you're like,
so
oh
awesome.
man, Bruce, that's not working at all. Or, hey, Bruce, that's amazing. Whatever. And so I would love to do that. I'd love to follow up with you all if I could, maybe in about a month or so. And
I like the fact that you just came up with the whole drip thing. That is gold. That is absolute gold. Because if your goal is to get to cup runneth over, you still have to start with each individual drop. So this dude right here is 21 ounces, but what it really is millions of drops.
Yes.
There is each water is a molecule. And each molecule is atoms.
You all are doing that so well. I don't know if anybody tells you that enough. I mean, I'm an encourager too, and I want you to just know the fact that you have spoken to my life. I'm going to get tore up all of a sudden. Sorry, but I'm an emotional person too. So, but really and truly, you all have spoke into my life over the last 3 months, because I've been watching you all pretty faithfully for about the last 3 months, and I just, your heart is so deep into this, and you're passionate about it, and it encourages me every single day to, man, be that same type of passion, be that same type of energy, but be honest like Doc is, and be incredibly compassionate like Katie is, and work those two pieces together really, really well. And you guys are such a great team. And so, I mean, just know I'll be praying for you all.
So I don't get fired.
Listen, I can give the most glowing
he's not at
PR
any risk. You don't need to do that work, Bruce.
Okay, I know he's not.
I don't know.
Gracious.
That's not what Paul said. Paul, stop scaring me.
Seriously though,
this is so good, man. Hearing you say that is so good. And you said something just now that triggered me. I don't even know if you realize you said it. You said you have been watching us faithfully.
Yep.
So breaking that down, you have faith in us to guide you the right direction.
Yep.
Right? You are a faith leader for a congregation of whichever size you didn't tell us, but you know what it is.
Yep. About 700.
You're right. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to hang this. Man,
He about cussed. He about said it. I know he did.
As my grandma used to
Services
say,
on Sunday.
Jesus keep me near the cross. Listen, Bruce, you got me up here fixing to use fruity language on the flow. That's not my show. That's the Eat the Work show. You trying to get me fired. Fam, you trust in us and they trust in you. I'm going to need you to trust.
Yeah.
Like Paul had a funny picture that he sent us the other day. I have to find it. It was the most hilarious thing. And it was super beautiful. Paul sent Luis and I a photo and it said, I believe my house is haunted because every time I look in the mirror, there's a crazy old man stands in front of me so I can't see my reflection. This is that. Paul, you didn't even know. Paul, you had no idea when you sent that back on Saturday that this is exactly that. You are blocking yourself from your own reflection of the dopeness that is Bruce. And if nothing else, go watch Bruce Almighty to give you the fire.
Well, there's a passage in James that tells us that very same thing. It talks about we look in the mirror and we forget what we look like.
Exactly.
Yes.
And yeah. You know, and believe me, I've been doing ministry. I'm 53. I've been doing ministry since 1990. Went to Bible college and the whole thing. And I've said this to a lot of people, and I mean it. There are a lot of people say they've been called into ministry. See, I don't agree with that. I believe God handpicks those that He wants, like the Billy Grahams and the people that are like that, the Wayne Corderos. You know Wayne Cordero? Does that name ring a bell?
Right down the street from me. Actually, my office, they're my landlord. How small is that world? My landlord,
the house of Cordero.
I got to meet Wayne.
Word of Life is the name of the organization, and they are my landlord. So, in the other side of the hallway, the little kids down there in like 10 minutes are going to be doing, preschool. They do Bible preschool, whatever you call it.
Yep.
Yes.
They're there. So I see little kids running in the hallway yesterday, got their fresh book bags, new pencils, everything ready to go. So how small is that world, right? How small is the world that you decide to come on the flow and I shoot my stuff in I pay rent to Word of Life? How's that?
That is crazy. But seriously, though, I mean, those kind of guys, I believe, have truly been called apart. They've been pulled apart and said, listen, you're doing this. But for many of us, it's just be passionate about it and know that God has given you that, and that you have some, not even the God thing. Just, I don't want to get too deep into that, but know that you have something to offer other people. And you've said this so many times, Katie, and Doc, you have too, that there's people out there that want to hear you. Mm-hmm. And they want you to be there to be able to share with them, whether it's just compassion, love, experience, truth, all those things. And if you do that, man, it's a better world. We don't live in we don't live in this crazy world. We live in a much better world that we can just love people. Because when it comes down to the end of the day, you're not going to get any judgment from me on anything because I don't get to judge. I don't get to judge anybody. What I get to do is just love them. And if I can do that through this podcast, and now that you all have spoken to my life over the last few minutes, I appreciate it a lot. Thank you.
I tell you something that I learned from Anne Lamont, and I put it in the chat right now. For those of us who might, cringe when they hear the word or whatever, it's normally because somebody did something to you that, not your fault. Let it go. But she says, for those of us, like she uses it in the non-secular sense, like she means it as God, but she tells us to take it as good orderly direction. That energy, that power, that light inside of you, that supportive nature, that love, that empathy that you have, all of that, those are driving you in a good orderly direction. So if for some reason, you can't line up with the faith situation, right? And again, I know that it's still in me because my mom raised me that way. But, I had the things that chased me away, right? But in the same token, my teachings, my learnings, my love for you guys, the way that I fight and push you guys, the way I basically minister to you guys to tell the stories that will help the place and make it better, that is my grandma going, boy, you can't run that far. My arms are longer than yours. Right? And when we was coming up, there was a play that my grandma absolutely loved called Your Arms Are Too Short to Box with God. And it's a very popular play from the 70s and 80s in the Black community. It was on Broadway for a little bit. And if you have to supplement that with higher power or the universe or energy or whatever, the Mother Teresa, whatever you want to call it, it's just that good, orderly direction, because you do have something inside of you. This is everyone. You have something inside of you that makes you sit here and listen to us, that makes you want to come every week and do this. And like Bruce said, have the faith and the trust into us to help guide you through your podcast journey. We're just asking you to reflect that faith inside yourself to actually do the damn thing.
Yes. Yep.
That's
Absolutely.
That's it. It's like poop or get off the pot. I get it.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't be like Paul
Well,
dropping
Bruce.
bricks in the car.
Well, we are all going to hold you accountable September 10, and then we are going to follow up with you after September 10 to get you back on so you can talk about some of those first few episodes. But thank you so much for making time and space to come on and share with us. And honestly, I hope that when you play this episode back, that you hear that the guidance that you were giving throughout this episode is exactly for you. So please listen to yourself and put some of that in action, because you said some gems. And I know they're good, because when we run this through Opus and it pulls out the best clips, I'm gonna bet you right now that there's at least 4 or 5 that are you. I'm gonna send them to you so you can just listen to them
So you can hear how
over
good
and
it
over.
is.
So
Listen, I'm asking the both of you. Yes, continue to send me anything you need to send me. Speak, whatever, encourage. You'll see me on Ecamm community on Facebook. I posted that thing yesterday. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yep.
But yeah, it was kind of that accountability thing.
Good,
I said, I got to do it, put it out, that it's going to happen. And once you speak it, then it becomes existence. And that's the thing I look at. That's how this is with Beyond Limits. So thank you both so much. I can't thank you enough for allowing me this opportunity to be with you all today. I really appreciate it.
Man, this
our
is
pleasure.
Super great. Good
luck, and we are here for you.
Katie had wrote something in the notes. I want to make sure that we absolutely say this. And it is that consistency builds trust, even if it's small. You got to keep showing up. And in yesterday's video, when I was talking to Ed, I told him in the video, I was like, listen, I guarantee you Harlan Sanders burnt that first piece of chicken.
Yes.
Well, number one, because he stole the recipe from some ladies, but he didn't actually know what he was doing. And then I guarantee you, he might have started with like 6 spices, and he goes, no, I need something else. And then he added 7 until we got to the 11 herbs and spices that make it KFC so addicting. I guarantee you, a dime against 2 fat boys, though, he burnt that first piece of chicken. So, just understand that.
Yes.
And I totally broke my analogy too. And I was like, and Roy Kroc, I guarantee he didn't make the hamburgers. The McDonald's brothers made the hamburgers. He was making milkshakes, and then he sold the machines, and then he stole the company. And never mind. Skip that analogy. that was my brain going off the train. It was super funny when I caught myself, but I had to leave it because that just goes to show you that, right? Like, even sometimes I like to show those vulnerable moments as well, so that people can see, like, it's really twisted in there. It just looks put together. It's really like a swan, right? Underneath, the feet are going like 100 miles an hour. And so it's okay if you feel that way, people.
That's my brain.
You got to just do your thing. You got to sort of find it. And the last one was, Katie had a suggestion. I just want to make sure we say this. Do you have you come up with a signature sign-off or a signature segment that's going to make your show like that Beyond Limits thing?
Ooh. I've listened to you. I followed you both. I've listened to a lot of Leo because I love him. He's the professional. He's been doing this for years and years. I have something I'm working on. My wife and I actually collaborated and put together a theme song.
Yeah.
Oh,
I wrote it.
Great.
I'll send it to you as soon as I get it recorded. She's supposed to record it this week, and I'm going to bring her down to the studio down here, and we're going to record it. And my wife and my son both are incredible musicians. But anyway, as soon as I get it done, I want to use that part of that as the outro.
There you go.
And
That's awesome.
And so I got to work on. I'm trying to catch. I'm not trying to catch. I'm trying to find a catchphrase or a tagline or something, because we call it breaking barriers and building belief.
Yeah,
that's what our tagline is.
There you go.
And so I got to work all that in, and once I do,
it'll evolve. By the way, anyway, you'll start with something, and then by like the fourth episode, you'll be like, "I like this better," and then or it didn't work at all. Yes,
that's how we got the Flow Riders out, and you mentioned Ted Lasso, the whole belief side that became a thing that they sell it as his own separate thing, right? So yeah, this is this is good.
You know, the thing with Ted Lasso, my wife doesn't get it because she's never watched it, but I watched all 3 seasons, and I can't wait till the 4th. It's coming. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was so well written. I mean, that's like genius the way they wrote. I mean, you go from high to cry to laugh to, just every emotion. It's like the old, it's like the emotion that what's his name now? Jim Valvano said, if we can laugh and we can cry and we can love in a day, we can show, people love. That's a full day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I always think that when you watch an episode of Ted, it's like a full, you're emotionally spent into the episode.
That is so
But
good.
I didn't mean to digress.
No,
that's good. All right, we will make sure that we get your links and stuff put out to everybody when the show comes. We will come and visit you on the first show to make sure that, we get you kicked off and doing your thing. I really appreciate you coming through. You guys don't know this, but like hearing these things and knowing where, people are still at, where they're stuck or where they're, coming to their plans, it actually helps me a lot,
helps,
and
helps us all, for sure.
It's really cool that you took that first step to come and do this. And so, of course, we implore anybody else who wants to come on and get your flow going. Like I just thought of like a stool softener. It's really stupid. Katie, can you close this out?
You're all done, Doc. If you want to reach us, you can reach us anytime. flow.ecamm.com. You can email us, flow@ecamm.com. You can leave a voicemail at that website. But Bruce just reached out by email and we were able to have a conversation back and forth and get to know each other, which we are always up for doing. So definitely send that through. If you want to be on this episode, on a future episode, let us know as well. We're happy to have people come on and share their stories. This podcast is on all the different podcast players, but we are YouTube first. So be sure to hang out with us here on YouTube. This episode, edited and perfected by the one and only Luis, will come out in a week from today. Tuesdays are our recording day and Tuesdays are our release day. And this episode, like many others, is sponsored by our friends at Shure. They make the best mics out there. I said it. I said it. I said it into my Shure microphone. It is one of the best and my favorite things. You can learn more about them at shure.com.
Oh, that was good. My brain just broke. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And my whole
fair.
analogy
That's
turned
fair.
into stool softener. I was like, I gotta stop. I gotta quit.
You're done. You're done. It's no time for that. After an entire episode about
Eat
food,
White
we got to
Castle.
get off. We got to eat our food.
Yes, I definitely need some coffee, as
I
you
need
can
some
tell.
KFC, some coffee.
You know what we
Thank
do
you so
around
much.
here? As we talked about signature sign-offs, people, we appreciate you. Don't see you next week. And Flow Riders, out.
Out. Thanks, Bruce. Bye, everyone.